I wasn't planning to make this video, but recently I had to dig into my ERTL collection to get some stuff for a video that I'm currently working on. And upon digging all the boxes out, I discovered something which is rather concerning for me. And unfortunately, with my ERTL stuff, I've not really touched any of this for well over a year just because I don't have a lot of room to have this out and display it. I did have everything out, I believe, in April of 2023. I took my collection and displayed it at a show. But really, for the last 2 years, it's spent more time in the boxes than anything else. As you can see, I've got 4 boxes on the workbench here. This large one at the front, this basically contains all the characters. It's quite the gold mine in my opinion. But then this one back behind here, this has destinations, maybe a little bit of track. This one here is all my duplicate ERTLs, or at least that's what's supposed to be in here. And then this box is just all track. And all 4 of these have basically sat in the back bedroom closet since whenever the last time was I had any of this out. And when I pulled this box out, I noticed a concerning issue along the top of it here. You can see how the top of this box looks to have been chewed on. And I believe it was last month, the missus was actually telling me that she had Christmas presents stashed away in the closet, and apparently a mouse had gotten into them. I believe that's exactly what's happened here, and what is concerning is, you know, how much damage is done in these boxes. As you've already seen, there's quite a bit of cardboard which is chewed up at the top of this box, and I know these mice can be very destructive little rodents, which has me quite concerned, you know, how much damage they've done down in this box. I've got these notes here and such. They don't look to have been affected, but I am seeing around these ERTLs there's definitely chewed up cardboard and paper towel. And, you know, these look like they were just thrown in here. I know for certain I did not pack these like this. So whether that's, you know, something the mice have done, or possibly just, you know, it's from the boxes being moved around in the closet, I'm not really sure. But one thing that really concerns me is, you know, you've got a bit of paper on these ERTLs. Like here we got Annie and Clarabelle. These got paper sides. And it's one of those deals that the mice have gotten in and started chewing up the paper on these ERTLs. That's definitely got me worried. I just realized something with these boxes. This one here that I thought contained destinations actually has my customs in it. And just like the last one we looked at, there's paper and cardboard in this, though it doesn't appear that the mice have been in this. I'll still go and unpack all this just to be sure. But like this box, which has the track, I don't think the mice have been into this either. Even if they did, it's, you know, basically more plastic than anything else. So I probably won't bother digging all that out. But anything that contains the ERTLs, I'll definitely get those out. Okay, I'm not going to pull each and every individual thing out and show it to you just because that'll take forever. But what I will do is I'll start going through here, picking out a few things, maybe investigate a little bit. Then I'll probably just do a time lapse for everything else. But like these pieces of cardstock here, these are all various dates of when these ERTLs were released. I had those when I was displaying. But yeah, like I said, the big thing that worries me is some of these ERTLs do have paper on them, and I know the mice will actually chew into that stuff. Like Bulgy here, he looks all right. I'm not seeing any issues with him. I don't know how bad this is going to get the further down in the box we get here. Another thing that has me a little worried is condition of some of this stuff being, you know, again, it looks like it's just been thrown in here, and you know how much of the paint's been ruined because of that. But I'll just keep looking here, see what I find. You know, again, I know I had these packed away a lot nicer than this. But I don't know. See what I find here, I guess. Alright, this is just a little update, but now that I've gone down so far, this looks like how I had things packed in before. You can see how things are laid out and somewhat organized. Again, some of this is probably shifted from the box being moved. But something I'm really liking is I'm not seeing any evidence in here of chewed up cardboard or paper towel, so I'm thinking that maybe the mice only got down first couple layers. I'm still going to go ahead and unpack everything out of this box just to be sure. And, you know, chances are I'm probably going to replace the box and all the packing material that I had in here. Okay, it's taken a bit of time to look everything over, but after what felt like an eternity, I'm happy to report that I did not find any major issues with these. Some of them were a little bit dusty, but that's not too bad. No stickers were chewed, no rubber tires were chewed, nothing was broken off or missing, and other than what little damage was on some of these when I got them, no major problems. However, not all these escaped unscathed. I was actually looking and I found that Butch and my Silver Millennium Thomas had issues. If you remember, Butch was on top. He got a little bit of dirt and such in the back there. That'll probably clean out pretty easily. But the Silver Millennium Thomas, that was close to the top as well. And I noticed an issue with this, which is rather concerning. On the back of the bunker here, you can see looks like something on the plating. I'm kind of going out on a limb here, but I'm almost thinking that is possibly mouse urine. Of course, of all the ERTLs this would happen to, it'd have to be this one. I'm not exactly sure what to do about that. Is there a way I can clean that off that won't affect the plating? Who knows? Maybe that is the plating which has already been affected there. I don't know. Something I noticed when looking at these is I don't have all the characters here. For example, I've got the 1985 Percy Inning Clarabelle set, but I don't have the Thomas set. I've also got Sir Handel, but I don't have the metallic one. And another example is I've got the metallic Duke, but I don't have the normal Duke. I'm assuming those pieces are packed away elsewhere, but I'll have to see about finding them. I think for now what I'm going to do with all this stuff is I'm going to pack it away in a new box, and then I'll start digging into my customs next. Alright, so other than the ERTLs which had issues, I've packed everything else away. And now I'm going to start going through my customs and see if there's been any disturbance in here. Like I mentioned before, I don't think the mouse has gotten into this stuff, but I just want to double check. So I'll just start picking stuff out here, and hopefully what I find is good. Alright, I got all the customs unpacked, and like with the last box, I'm not seeing any major issues with any of these. There was 3, however, that I noticed had some minor problems. First one being the second tender to my Flying Scotsman. For some reason, this has oxidation of the die cast, and I don't know how that occurred when this thing was basically sealed with paint. Not sure how to fix that, but it's definitely something I'm going to have to look into. Also got Brenner here. The only problem with him is his face has just come a little loose. I can easily put that back together. And then I've got my Nia Custom, which unfortunately she lost her headlamp. It's just laying right here. And you know, this is the thing I hate with storing these customs the way I do, is it's not ideal, especially when you've got little pieces, parts, and even, you know, risk of chipping the paint with these. I would love to get some proper display cabinets to store all my ERTLs in, but it's just one of those deals. The ones I'm looking at are so expensive, and to try to afford all of those in one go, it's, you know, not feasible at this time. But I think I'll go ahead and pack all these away now that everything looks good. And probably the last one I'll get into is my duplicates. Okay, so we've moved on to my box of duplicate ERTLs that I have, and I'm actually noticing something right away with this box. Not all of these are duplicates. In fact, right here, there is my 1985 Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle set. No idea why this is in here, but it should not be. So go ahead and set that aside. Also notice there is my pullback Toby. Again, that should not be in here. That should be in with my collection. And, well, right there is the Boco from my collection as well. And also the 1985 Henry, which is missing a buffer sticker. But, yeah, I'll go through this and see what's all in here. Well, it's taken a bit of time to sort through that box as well, and you can see the number of duplicates that I have of certain characters here. But the good news is that all of these have no problems with them, so definitely a plus. However, there were 4 characters that did have minor issues that I'll need to take care of. I knew about this one before, but unfortunately my Boco, it's actually got a chip right there on the face. My opinion, that's like the worst place to get a chip on these, because, you know, the face is such a prominent part of the model. I don't know if I can touch that up or not. I don't know, maybe I'll just end up getting another Boco, I'm not really sure. But the 1985 Henry, the pullback Toby, and the 1985 Thomas that was in the Annie and Clarabelle set, all these are missing buffer stickers. Henry and Thomas are just missing one. Toby is also missing one, but it was right here. So just got to stick that on. With Henry and Thomas, I know I got some spare buffer stickers in my parts box. I'll probably just source those to put on these, and I think they'll be good. So I was tempted to dig out the other duplicates that I have under the workbench here, but then I got to thinking, well, this video is probably long enough already. And really, I've pretty much achieved what I set out to do in the first place, which was to get these ERTLs out of the boxes, take a look at them, and see what issues they may have, which, you know, with the back row here, I've basically made more work for myself now. But at the same time, I've answered some questions that I had. And like I keep saying, I'd really love to get some proper display cabinets to put these ERTLs in, just because it's a far better way to store them, better method, and I think accessing these would be a lot easier too, because then I'm not having to go digging in boxes every time I need something. But unfortunately, you know, those display cabinets, they're just something I can't afford at this time, despite the fact that I really want them and they definitely be beneficial. But anyways, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I hope you guys found it interesting. I know a number of my viewers really enjoy ERTL content that I upload, so hopefully this video fits the bill. You guys want to help me out, feel free to leave a like and comment down below. And I don't know, hopefully have another interesting ERTL video coming up here at some point. But until then, catch you guys real soon.